Let me know when you're up.
Okay, we're good.
All righty, so let's go ahead and do introduction and roll call. So we have all of our board members here, as you can see, but who do we have as our guest today?
Well, my name is Jason Joins. I'm representing the Pirates Youth Basketball Club, and just looking for discussion on use permit for the rec center for this season.
Okay, so if you could give us just a couple minutes, we will get right back to you. I need a motion to approve the agenda.
Before we do that, can we add to other business benefits and then campground rates? Those are two things that came up after. I sent
Employee
this.
benefits?
Yes.
And park rates?
Yeah, the campground park rates.
Didn't we just increase them? And park rates. And then where are we doing our so we have an introduction of guests. Do we go ahead and do that before we approve our agenda?
That was basically what you just did.
Yeah, but, okay. We don't need to make him wait though.
No, we can have them do that before and then you can leave.
Yep.
All right, are we okay with the approval of the meeting agenda?
Yeah.
Somebody make a motion.
I'll move that we approve the meeting agenda with the 2 ads that shall be made.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Usually the president does it second.
Okay, fine. Somebody else second.
I'll second for it, but we already approved it, so you're okay. You're so efficient.
All right, so you go right ahead.
Yeah, so we are looking to start the basketball season with hopefully the use of the rec center, 1 court. We're looking for December 1st through the end of January. Oh, excuse me, February. Sorry about that. And we are looking for 5 p.m. to close, which is, I believe is 7:30 now, Monday through Thursday. So very similar to what we've done in the past, pre-COVID. No changes there. We're going to try to fit in as many teams as we can during that time. And
And you filled out a,
we did fill out a use permit.
okay. Then I think you would then present that to us, correct?
That is correct.
Yeah.
That's the board decided that I would make those decisions on that. However, I have a question, which we're not at yet, but it's pertaining to this. Looking at field reservation system that we're working on, right, for the youth programs. My question is all or one or part in your minds, the rec center should be involved with that as far as part of those fields? We already got the high school coming on board. We're having meetings about that. We're going to obviously use the fields and facilities we have available to us to coordinate this, right? What Tessa's working on. The rec center going to be a part of that. And that's my only question I had, because we have members as well. But are we going to take half that court and use that as part of certain seasonal programs, or is it voided from that? What is your opinion?
That's my thoughts. I was only asking for 1 court. And we got to take care of our members now, but we need to recruit new members, and what better place than to have all our families in there. And again, I don't know that 4 nights a week they still have access to one court. And I would hope that no adult would be frustrated that we have little kids in there participating. But I do know some people is a little more selfish.
One court has worked in the past
Yeah.
to do that with, while we allow the other court for open play basketball, which in the wintertime is pretty heavy.
They
Normally
just drop
pre-COVID.
that net down.
Pardon me?
You drop the net down.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes. So that's why I look at it is that we should probably be able to use that on the reservation system that we're working on, at least half the court for that, and they're half open for members. I just want a nod or.
I think that should be the
Yeah.
ideal.
Can I ask a question on, a couple years ago, we had little, like K-2 kids were utilizing that on Saturday mornings, right?
Yes.
Was it just half, was it half a court on that? Was there issues
Yes, it
then?
was.
Was there issues then?
Pardon me?
Was there issues
No,
then?
there wasn't. There was issues the first year we did it because we were using that because we didn't have anything else, and it did create some issues with memberships. But the following year, we went to just using a half a court and it seemed to work out.
Yeah, I like the bill. I like the idea that we have it open because, but for youth basketball as well, just because those are future members, all those families will be like, oh, this is great, I want to be here. And then also the big picture of things, and this is my opinion, is that we should be going, hey, let's host some basketball games at our youth rec, way to get other community area people that want to purchase memberships. That's the way to do it. You're advertising without having to advertise. So I like it.
You guys don't foresee needing it Saturday morning?
Currently, we think we will. I think we're probably gonna target the same thing we did pre-COVID was it 2019, I guess it was. That we are gonna target to have K-2 youth, small youth there for, I believe it's just a couple hours on Saturdays to do the games.
Is that in the permit too? The use permit?
No, I don't believe we have it in there yet because we don't, so we haven't, we're just starting to do signups. So we don't understand yet exactly how many teams we're gonna have.
Okay.
And there's potential for other opportunity to use one of the schools for that same purpose. If it isn't too big or, you know, if we don't need the space. So we're
There's
not
a
gonna
note
try to
on
use
there
it
that
if we
says
don't.
potentially Saturdays.
Okay, perfect, yeah. So, great.
So I have a question. So what if another sport wants to use the gym? Because remember, I did ask you about it.
For soccer,
Mhm.
right.
So how would we work?
Um,
Is it
I
like,
have some thoughts on that. I wanted to see your use permit form, so to
Yeah.
see exactly what your time frame you're looking at.
okay. Yeah, and I was waiting to have this because I wanted to see because if I saw that basketball came on, so I was thinking, okay, maybe I don't, because I was just trying to do something for the kids because there wasn't anything going on. So now that basketball's on, I feel like I'm not gonna want to do as much.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, we should talk and see what
Yeah.
you are thinking about doing and see what we can work out.
okay.
Can those? The only concern I have about soccer and that basketball facility is how those windows gonna hold up.
It's a softball.
Hmm.
That we use, it's a softball
Oh, okay.
that's being used, it's not a regular. Yeah, it's not a regular soccer ball.
All right, so
Did we answer your question? Like
we
we're good?
did,
Okay.
we did.
Fine. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same as what we had, not last year, but the year prior,
Mhm.
correct?
Yes.
Mhm.
We gave our general consensus to Scott, and Scott will finish the paperwork for you, right?
Excellent. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you all. Really
Thank
appreciate
you.
your time.
Yeah,
Thanks for what you do with the
thank you.
kids.
Yep, have a great evening.
bye.
Financial, Shelby.
Minutes.
Oh, it's so jumping way over. Has everybody read the minutes? Does anybody want to just make a motion to approve them?
I'll make a motion to approve. I read them.
You good? Okay, Dave, you read them, you're good? I'll second it.
There we go, no financials.
So fast.
You just need to make a form and a check boxes.
Right?
That's actually a really good idea to do it. That'd be
Mhm.
good. That'd be helpful for me too. You guys do go fast, it's awesome.
Okay, so first up is our treasury report. Operations for the rec center is 40,589.33. Operations for the park, 36,192.43. And then the LGIP general for the park, 1,088,797.87. The rec center LGIP is 627,613.62. And then we have 126.68 left for boat dock daily fees for September that we've collected that will get transferred over at the end of this month. For the boat dock loan, we have made a partial payment of 11,693.98. Still have 824.04 that's still due. We still have one outstanding $1,200 mortgage that we're still working on. Ted has talked to that gentleman to try and get that remedied. And then we have the 126.68 that we will transfer over at the end of this month. So we're relatively close.
So you're almost done with that loan.
Yes. Next one up is the Geo bond amortization schedule, and then the boat dock or the boat dock loan and the BEO loan amortization schedules.
We don't have payments on them until the January.
Correct.
Oh, you hold it.
What?
Oh, hold it. Never mind. Thank you.
Okay, statement of revenues and expenditures for the park, page 9. First month is for August of this year. Second is this year to date, or July and August for this year. Third column is August of last year. Fourth column is July and August of last year. That way you guys have a comparison. Total revenue that we're at for currently for this year, 190,452.90. Total expenditures for the year, 46,277.70. Or no, sorry, that's the profit. 144,175.20 for expenditures. So our profit this year so far is 46,277.70.
I do have a question, yeah, on the admin expenses. I just want to know what the difference is, because the last year, the prior year is 280 and it went up to, on the current year actuals, 952.
For the dues and fees.
Yeah,
So the dues and fees is our membership fees for like SDAO and ORPA. So that's special districts, and then Oregon Parks and Recreation Association.
Recreation Park.
There we go. I always do it backwards. And then the ORLA, Oregon Restaurant and Lodging Association.
Right.
There we go.
wow.
Yeah. So, and some of those are yearly, some of them are every other year. So,
Okay, and then the advertising?
yes. So the advertising we broke out, but the advertising this year, that is Good Sam. We pay, it's a very, it's one of the more expensive advertising that we do, but they do us on their website, they put us in their campground book that they give out to all their members. And they help us with the online reservations and directing those online reservations for us to our website.
Oh,
Once we go away from it, we can never go back. We're kind of grandfathered in. They don't normally do government campgrounds.
and this is per year?
Yes.
Okay. So is there a way we can look at that right now? Is there a way we can see that, so we could see exactly what we're paying for?
Well, she said no.
Yeah.
Yeah, she didn't. She said no. I don't know who that was.
Just-
Do we have anybody online
No.
I don't think so.
with us today?
No, that was just a blip.
See, she said.
No, it was the girl.
I just wondered if.
Yeah, no,
anybody-
we have nobody
Nobody
online.
joined us? Okay.
No, okay, so. Is it coming up? And of course, there we go, find a park.
So what if they don't type, like, let's say we're just looking without typing or Boardman,
If they type Boardman,
without them
like
typing
just
it?
Google, or just,
No,
what are
like,
you
let's
wanting?
say if we go to that reservation or to that site, is there a way to scroll and see, do we come up on there?
If you go to Oregon,
Okay.
it'll bring up all the different campgrounds, and then the higher up you are is based on what you pay for. So if you pay for a really premium ad, you're gonna be higher up, and those, I will tell you, the premium ads are $12,000-$15,000 a year.
What's this 8,000 getting us?
Yeah.
So if it's not we don't get the premium ad, but get to. When they go and they actually type in our website, we get this, it'll take us to the learn more. It's also, they are targeting for the certain months of the year, certain demographics of people to advertise and get them here. And we ask them to help us with the winter months, because we generally have a lot of monthly that come in the winter. And we wanted to bring more in the winter, so we can definitely bring in more fees in those winter months when we're slower.
Are the rankings based off of people's opinions? Or is this actually their opinion?
No, this is actually these ratings.
Mhm.
That's actually, they come every year and then they go through and they look through our whole facility.
Okay.
And our facility has always been, it's every year it's been at this.
Okay.
So they actually say you don't want to get 10s across the board, because then when people do come, if they see one piece of trash on the floor or just one little something wrong, it makes it look really bad. You're better off to have a little bit of a less than a 10.
Yeah, and then it's like our bathrooms down there, they're old.
Right,
Even though
right,
we
Yeah.
remodeled them, they're just old,
Right.
so.
So we get a little bit lesser on that
They're
because of
never
that.
gonna get it done.
So without searching
Mhm.
Boardman, where do we show up on their page? Without
How far
searching?
down?
I don't know.
Honestly, I don't know. And if you just were to look Oregon up,
Yeah, there's a lot of listings.
there's a lot, because, well, yeah, featured.
Let's see.
If you want distance, do you want distance from, do you want,
Yeah, it just depends on what you search.
yeah,
So what if could they search like,
you can search by your state, you can search by the zip code, park name.
can you search like for boating? Will you find it?
It
Like,
won't,
let's say you're trying to.
no,
do-
it doesn't have that on here. It only is gonna let you search by location. Or you can search by the different ratings of the facility. So like, if you really want the facility that you're going by,
So that's the top one right there.
yeah, it's gonna give you all the ones that are a 10. You go just there. It's gonna give you all the ones that have a 10 restroom. Is how it's gonna sort that.
See, that's how my wife would pick a campground.
So,
And how much is our fee for that every year?
so this year, because we asked them to do the extra advertising in the winter months,
Uh-huh.
it was the 81. Last year, we
Okay.
were 76. And this is after a fairly large discount because we paid
Right.
in advance.
Right.
So
And when did we start this?
this has been
Oh,
Years ago.
years
wow.
ago.
Yeah.
20-some years ago.
yeah.
20
Yeah.
something?
Yeah.
You've been born, young one.
No, it has helped, it has really helped us, generate more customers. Because we weren't filling out before, like we are now, it's like every night.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering how long we started it.
Yeah, it was over 20, in the 90s, I think it was. And we've always put an ad in, they didn't always used to be this expensive. One year, I think we were close to $10,000, and then we cut it back, because that was way too much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But they're doing more, online stuff than they've ever done before.
Yeah.
And so that does help a lot.
Is this the same group
So-
that comes down and during the springtime? And
No, they generally have been coming in like July and August.
Well, there's a lot of good Sam RV clubs.
That's what I'm
different
talking
ones.
about.
Huh?
That's the one that comes out Walla Walla and come down.
There's
there
one
together.
out of Pendleton, Blue Mountain.
Oh, okay, that's the one.
Yeah, Sam's Club. you know, they're just a local, there's a lot of little local ones.
Okay.
And they come, you know, like every spring.
So how do we know who's coming in that's searching us on the Sam's Club? Do we know that?
When they come, they actually give you a printout of their searches based on what people have come on their website to look for our campground. So we do have that a little bit. Because we are a Good Sam campground, we also give them members 10% off, and we can sell the Good Sam memberships, which is money we get to keep. We don't have to turn around and give that fee to them. So we do make sure and we ask people, you know, where did you hear about us? Are you a Good Sam member? And try and do a little bit of that background. too.
Do you think we'll get our money's worth, in other words?
Uh,
That's what I
Honestly,
wanna
I'm
know.
not a marketing person, so I really don't know.
I'm trying to find it.
Well,
Problem is, if we
Yeah. if you kill
go
it,
away
then-
from it and we find out we were, we're
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
much out.
Yeah.
To me, I'm not saying get away from it.
No,
but
I just
I
wanted-
get it, but I'm just wondering,
I think it does help a lot.
I'm sure it helps. I mean, definitely it helps.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, how much does that help?
Does it help $8,000?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm not a marketing person, so this
But we do
out
get,
of my forte.
we do get new customers all the time. People come here, man, I didn't know this place was here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty wild. You're driving down the desert, turn over here and you see this. Yeah, people are pretty surprised and they come back.
I hear that all the time.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah. So in the Good Sam Health, that's the most visible marketed RV magazine in the country. And it's, you know, it's a really big, thick one, every state in there. I think Canada's in there as well.
yeah, and they've
Yeah.
partnered with Camping World, so anybody who goes and shops for a camper at Camping World gets one of these books.
Mm.
And it has every single Good Sam campground in the United States and Canada in it.
Sweet.
And even non-Good Sam ones.
Yeah,
just-
they started
list
doing that
everything.
too.
Okay. I'm gonna go look at that website.
Okay, let's move on.
So next up is our balance sheet for the park. Accounts receivable on the park is the pool portion that is owed to them. The accounts payable is credits that we have for RDO for returned parts. And then we do have unearned revenue still for campground fees that have come in of 120,780.26. Any questions on that one? Go ahead. Okay. Next up is the budget to actual for the park. Actual for this year, we're at 237,602.53 for resources. Expenditures, 156,454.21, and this is as of last week on so the 23rd,
Basically two and a half.
2.5
in.
months, yeah.
Oh, I see the Good Sam membership income has 0 on here. Is that what? Okay.
So out of $450,000 that we budgeted for overnight fees, we've already taken in 153,000 of that. Wow, that's pretty decent.
Yep.
Considering,
That's income that we've earned in these last 2
Yeah,
months.
but
Yeah.
considering we get
Mhm.
75% of our money in January.
Yep. It sits in that unearned until these months, and then it
Yeah.
all of a sudden just kicks over.
Yeah, interesting.
Next up is the bank account activity for the park. Total deposits, 92,616.71. Total disbursements, 98,794.81. So about a $6,000 difference between the deposits and disbursements.
You went in the hole this month.
There's no questions on that. The next up is the campground stats. Cash collected in August was 17,471. We had a total of 1,803 nights booked for the campgrounds. Of that, 1,753 was regular, 38 was overflow, and 12 was 10, or 12. It's a lot.
So August was down, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. Big chunk.
Yep.
Hmm.
And then keep in mind, this is just cash we're taking in, so it means that our campground was already booked before the month came in. So,
But even the tents and everything was less.
Yep.
Huh.
Next up is the pool. Statement of revenues and expenditures. First column is August of this year. Second column is July and August of this year. Third column is August of last year. Fourth column is July and August of last year. Total revenue for this year is 56,480.66. Total expenditures is 202,738.79. Please keep in mind that includes all of the Fantastic Kids and Teen Summer Program expenditures, which we have billed for and that will get reimbursed.
Okay.
So as of right now, it shows we're 146 in the hole.
So how much did we bill for?
We
How much are
billed,
we missing?
it was about 125,000.
Okay.
And they haven't paid.
They have not paid yet, but we did not send the bill until the 14th of this month. We were waiting for final approval on kids from them, so.
You said 125?
Yeah, it was roughly 125. Next up is our balance sheet. The accounts receivable that you see on there, the 123 that's gonna be the school district. So it's about, almost 124,000. And then we have no accounts payable other than what is owed to the park for the 242. Okay, next up is the budget to actual for the pool. Actual resources year to date, which would have been through the 23rd, 191,477.62. Total requirements, 226,847.31, which puts us in the negative roughly 35,369.69. Next report after that is the bank account activity for the pool. Total deposits, 79,834.42. Total disbursements, 81,573.24. So about $2,000 difference.
Funny, because I say he goes in the hole. That's not too bad for you.
Right, I know, that's what I was gonna say. Not too bad, Scott.
Congratulations, you're in the hole, but not as bad.
I'm like yelling at Ted. What is Cintas?
Centos, that's a janitorial supply company.
Okay. RC Systems Inc. is what?
That is Rec Pro. It's a yearly maintenance
Oh.
that we have.
Gotcha. Sorry, I always ask you and then I forget who we move things out to.
That's okay.
It's interesting, the concept that by putting the employees' names
Mhm.
on these sheets, that becomes public knowledge, how much they're making.
Mhm.
Kind of an interesting little tidbit. Makes you wonder if
Why
we're,
are we allowed to do that?
I know, right? I was wondering the same thing.
It's part of the reports that, I mean, we can take it off, but when we take that off, it automatically removes the vendor amount for, or the vendor name for everybody.
I think it's a public employee. I think their salary is not.
It
right.
shouldn't be. Just like city.
Well, their salary's not, we're not saying to make a certain amount, we're just saying what their paycheck was.
Yeah, but if somebody wants to come in and look at our books, I think because
They
we're
would
public
see it,
entity.
they would see it anyway.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right,
Next up, the next 2 pages are our membership activity scans. First page is last fiscal year. Second page is this fiscal year so far. For August, we had 3,083 scans this year. Last year,
Don't count.
615. Doesn't, yeah, definitely doesn't count.
But it's in the average here, these, since we've been able to reopen.
Yeah. Roughly 100 scans a day.
that's really decent.
Yeah.
Not the highest, not the worst, but still good.
And that would be all I have.
We have a motion to approve the financial.
So moved.
Second.
Favor?
Aye.
All opposed. By the way, I can second. I looked it up.
Oh, God.
Just a second ago, it said under 12 people.
Mhm.
I could second. Over 12 people, I should have made neutral.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, FYI.
Boom, mic drop.
Oh, you got it. What's the commercial with the lady who goes in the elevator? Priceline, and then she comes out.
Yeah, yeah,
Got you.
starting her
I can
stuff,
see, I can
yeah.
see you doing it.
Okay, old business Shelby, phone and internet.
Okay, so we are completely switched over to Windway. Everything has been
Wow.
installed, everything is done. We are switched over.
Do our phones work?
They do, actually. We are switched over to Jive for our phone provider. The only thing that we haven't done yet, we have not canceled EOT, and that's because we're waiting for them to port over our 800 number for the park. That is the last thing, and then we can cancel and be done.
Okay, and you're on them about that?
Yep,
What's their timeline?
it takes 2 weeks to port it.
It's all right.
So,
Okay, that's all right.
yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah,
not,
as long as
it's
they're not
not
going a
months, you know, it
Yeah.
takes 2 weeks to port it. If we cancel, then we won't be able to
Yeah.
carry that number over.
Yeah.
So,
Good.
but that's
So
where
we
we're
have
at.
working phones.
We do have working
People
phones.
are able to get through.
Mhm.
No downtime.
Nope. We
Internet's
do,
working.
yeah, in here, down at the booth, they are still having some calls dropping, but that is because we're still bouncing the phone signal from here down to the booth. We've got to have that point to point redone. And Bill's gonna come in this weekend and get that done for
Okay.
us, so that we will not have that drop anymore.
Okay, good.
Okay, they put fiber optic in.
Yes.
And most of it was bored underneath the ground, but they did do quite a bit of digging. The Corps of Engineers have not given approval for that.
Yeah.
I don't know, they showed up one day and started working. And I don't know if they got approval from somebody, but just so you guys know. I can get in trouble.
Yeah, they might be pulling it all out.
Well, I hope not.
Yeah.
It's pretty obvious when you come in, that bare area right alongside the road, yeah.
See, I thought you were getting ready for the golf frisbee tournament when I
The
saw
Corps'
it.
already done their visit though this year, correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
It'll be all grown back.
I'll
next
go
year.
back.
well, hopefully we'll plant some pasture grass or something in there,
Yeah,
you know, but,
Yeah.
Just drag it and plant it.
yeah.
that's what I'm
planning.
thinking too. Oh, I didn't say that, we're recording, but yeah.
Yeah, so, I was kind of shocked when they showed up. and
Oh, I
started
bet
doing
you
that.
were.
I didn't say anything. I figured, they got approval from somebody. It wasn't Shelby. Right?
I did not do that.
That is crazy that they would have just did it and not asked.
Yeah,
Yep.
I know.
Yeah,
So,
interesting. God, the Corps already did their inspection,
yeah.
so that's good. District policies. update, David Bohr.
I just wondering, do we have a timeline to get going on some of this policy?
This winter.
Okay.
Yeah, we're too busy right now, and we don't have the personnel. to do all that stuff.
You want to continue on, David?
Oh, where are we at with the GPS?
That's another thing this winter.
Have we got it though?
Oh, we have not GPSed anything.
But do we have a GPS tool?
Yeah.
Okay.
Stuff.
Okay, so we're gonna put down winter for these two.
Yeah, it's just, I don't have the personnel to do maintenance work, so
Okay.
I can't go around and do that. Yeah.
Okay. Done. Scott, youth sports update. Tell us what's going on.
All right.
And this is, sorry to interrupt you, this is in regards to what we had asked you to do, correct? Regarding getting with Tessa and seeing whether
Yes,
we were going to, okay, perfect.
yes,
Go
it
for
is.
it.
And there's still a lot of work to do. I'll just let you know that, but we're working on it. So first thing I did is I met with Dave Norton and Tori to discuss, they asked for the meeting, so I went over and discussed what they wanted, and actually they brought this up, and I said, well, this so happens, we're talking about doing this, and they were interested in youth sports for free. So they said that, they told me that BCDA is planning on paying for the sign up, everything included in the sign up fee for each youth sport individual from 6th grade below. So I know that that's what their statement was to me, and we talked about, just logistics on that for a while. And then decided that we needed to get a meeting together with the coaches and maybe some of the organizations. So before we go too much further, we need to do that because we have a lot of questions. In the meantime, I had Tessa do research on software. We do need some software for this if we're going to do this right. Software that can help us keep it all straight. We're taking all signups from all these different teams. There's like 7 or 8 teams involved with this potentially. And then being able to formulate who and what fields and facilities are open to be able to schedule practices on. So she's working on software. We did find some software that we think will work really well, not only for this program, but will help us for things that we're doing as far as setting up for swim lessons and things like that. It was really helpful. It's about roughly $499 a year for the software. But it's not a disk, it's on the cloud, so it's just gonna be, we can let anybody on it if we want to. So we can give parameters to, like, say, coaches, if they want to double check where they're practicing or what their schedule is, it could all be on there for that, so they can look at that. This software is used by both LeGrand and Hermanston Parks. So, and they recommended that we checked out, we did some demos. It looks like a really good software.
I have a question. Is it mobile friendly?
Pardon me?
Is it mobile friendly? Like, is there an app on the mobile? Like, let's say, oh, I don't know what field's being used today. Let me go look real quick.
You know,
Is
I'm
that
not
something
100%
that-
sure on that yet. Well, obviously, we haven't purchased the software yet, so I just wanted to bring this up that it looks like a good program for
Okay.
us to use. So I'll check on that, though.
Yeah.
I do know that anybody with the internet can access this, and then we can set up how much, if they can manipulate or not manipulate anything, just to look at. So that, I think, is really user-friendly for the whole community.
How much
That's
is
what
it?
it is.
How much is it?
If you had internet.
$4.99,
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
So I'm just
But it's a
saying, if
yearly
we had an
thing.
app to
oh,
go into.
okay,
Yeah.
but still, that's not bad.
Yeah. So that's what we're recommending. I think that'll help a lot. Since then, Tori put out a Google Doc for people to
Gah.
got it? There you go. To opening up a meeting. So she already started this, and it looks like, well, for some reason, she chose nothing that was on that timeline. We're having it this Friday at 7:30 in the morning
That's when that is.
at the
This
City
thing?
Hall.
For.
Yeah, okay, you have it.
What, 7, what?
7:30,
Wait, what is that?
yes.
Oh, okay.
So,
It's
yes,
got
so
BCDA,
I think a lot of my
high school
questions will be there, but
some of the youth
as you can
sports.
see, this
Okay,
is
so then
a
you
list
don't
of
know anything
questions
about it.
that we still don't have the answers to, that
Okay,
we're
She set it up.
we're
We don't know
brainstorming
who-
what is and all
Yeah.
that right
We
now.
don't know
So
who all was
just
invited.
to let you know, we are moving forward. And there's no way we're gonna be ready for this winter sports, but I do think that we can be ready for the spring sports startup. Now, I do remember priority wise, I think somebody made a comment that, which kind of stands to reason anyway, it's gonna follow this, but in-season sports. Okay, so, and that's when it gets back to, basketball and soccer, because there's some indoor soccer too, so in-season sports, so we have to work through when we work on certain parts of this, because it's gonna change each season, different teams, different organizations will come in, right?
Yeah.
So just, we want something that'll be able to separate that pretty easily, which I think we're on board with that.
Scott, I'm sorry, I had to
Pardon me?
I had to walk away there. When are you meeting with the group?
Pardon me?
When are we meeting? with-
When are you meeting with the group again?
Friday at
Friday.
7:30.
This
Oh,
Friday.
me, yeah. I feel like I can't hear anymore. I don't know. I can't hear you. Sorry.
Blame it on the mask.
Yeah, 7:30 Friday morning at the City Hall Council Chambers.
In the morning, George.
Yes.
It's not, it's not PM. Just telling you.
Let's see. I know there's gonna be some teams, and I'm gonna use.
That's
you.
fine.
Okay, as far as basketball starting up, they're not gonna get on board with this yet, because we've got a lot of work to do. But I think we can start taking signups anyway, at least do that part. We might not be able to do the field reservation yet, but we've already worked out a deal. I mean, we already have insurance covered for them for facility use for the schools. But that's all been improved. I believe girls volleyball as well, yes.
Good.
So that's all done. So
And football.
we will be able to take signups. Now, we just not gonna be able to do all of the field
Coordination.
organization until we're all set up. That
Awesome.
makes sense?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah. No, that's
Question
great.
for you on the software,
soccer?
the
Software.
software,
Software.
the software.
Yeah, I got it the third time, thanks. I Currently need to go see an ear
The
doctor.
$495 is a year, but is that the one that has the transaction, the per transaction fee?
If we're taking payment,
Okay,
you're talking about taking payment, right?
well, she was saying, Tessa was saying something about a per transaction fee.
Yes, okay. So, well, two different things here in a way. So if we do take payment right now, before this is up and running, and take like folks like basketball or volleyball coming in to do their signups, then if we use the software for that, which we may not have to do that right off the bat, there is a small fee for transaction if somebody wants to make payments like through a credit card or give us a check for this. RecPro has that too, but yes, that would play now, but for the teams who come on board with what BCDA wants to do, as far as paying for the complete sign up for each team, then there won't be any money transactions at that point. That make sense?
Mhm.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
I think Shelby's just wanting to represent that it seems like a small amount, but
Right.
if you start doing things per transaction, it
Yeah.
could be a very large.
well,
thing.
and depending on how much money BCDA has,
Correct,
there may be still that potential for the
Right.
transaction fee.
right.
There will be a cost to the district through this whole program. I mean,
Correct.
whether it's the software, employee time, transactions. There's unknown time right now that I
Right.
know will be a cost. So insurance is another story. And I think I wrote in my report that our insurance is no problem covering, but it's only for third-party property damage. Does everybody understand that?
So not a kid getting hurt.
No,
Just
no
like
coaches,
the school.
no
and the-
kids, nothing gets anything. It's like they go to the high school or to Windy River or something and somebody runs into the drinking fountain, rips it off the wall. They'll cover that.
Gotcha.
Do more than that, the liability goes way high and it costs a lot. Now, Michelle, Wheatland Insurance, who represents us for this DAO, did say she'd like to come and talk about that in the October meeting.
We've never provided.
We
the
have
other
not.
kind, though. Right, we've
But-
only provided third party.
Yes,
right?
that's
Okay.
correct.
Yeah, and that's all the school asked for, I
Okay.
believe, yeah.
Then yeah, I don't,
That might be something you bring up with the BCDA. If you had a number, they might be able to pick that up. is what happened.
if the coach and parents were worried about it.
Well, but what happened? Are we gonna make kids prove that they have insurance to play?
No,
So what happens if a kid falls and breaks his arm? Who's paying for it?
state of Oregon.
No, one of my kids did mess up his elbow.
Because if you don't have private health insurance, you're gonna be on the state insurance.
Unless
Well,
he just
and
got
organizations have an opportunity to get insurance too. And I think there is one club out there that does, and they charge a little extra in their signups for that.
Well, CYSC does, but that's
Yeah.
because they're part of a different,
Right.
But they still
thing.
don't cover an injury. They don't.
The schools are the only ones that offer that. That if you need insurance and don't have private insurance, you can sign up through the school's
Mhm.
insurance, but we've never done that. I don't think we should ever get involved with that.
Yeah.
I don't think
no.
most youth sports though even have that in
No.
there. They just have the liability of like
Yeah.
not liable
Yeah,
for the injury. And so that's part of the sign up process.
yeah, I don't think we would ever want to offer that.
Huge detriment to the district to do that.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, okay. So real quick, since we were on that subject.
Yes.
Because I saw you guys writing down the times.
Okay.
The meeting. Tori had invited me to it.
Okay.
But I'm really taking a standpoint of that that's your baby, so I feel like you should do that. And I don't necessarily need to be there in order to babysit that project. What are your thoughts? And I want your guys' thoughts too. Are we supposed to be there? I don't want to be the voice of any of
Well, I
it because our
volunteered to
voice
help
should
with
be
Tessa.
together.
Yeah,
I
I volunteered
want
her
to
too.
help Tessa on this, okay? Because when Josh brought it up to me about it originally, I want this to go through. And I'm not saying babysit, but it's his puppy,
Correct.
definitely.
I don't feel like any of us should ever be there giving comments.
No.
If you want to sit there and listen only mode, then that's Tessa and Scott's deal to do
Yeah.
that. But I don't think it's our position to sit there and ever give
I agree.
input when
agree.
we're sitting on this board. Does that
Agree.
make sense?
Yep, I agree.
Okay.
I agree with you. I agree with you on that. And I think that would lead to Scott, if he had questions to the board, you could
Correct.
ask those from and say, hey, what direction would you like me to go
Correct.
based off of this information?
Which I did today.
Exactly.
Right,
And that would be
That's
based off
what I
that
do,
meeting on
so.
Friday. You're gonna fill us in October
Correct.
and then et cetera, et cetera. So.
Okay,
Yep.
all right.
Yeah,
just
so-
wanna make
And if I
sure.
can speak bluntly, I agree. I totally agree, and I'm definitely bringing Tessa in on this meeting. I mean, I want her.
Right.
I'm there for guidance and support for
Right,
her. I
it is
want
her
her to
job.
take this on.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
helping her in the beginning, but once she gets going, it's gonna be her, right?
Correct.
Yep.
With that being said, if. Take this as it is, if somebody, and I'll just use Tori because she went to you or comes to you, please refer them to me.
I did,
Okay,
I did.
all right,
Yeah,
She
she
did
asked
reach
me to
out.
the meeting where you were meeting with her.
yeah, okay.
And then I told her no, that was something that you should take care of. And then I ended up with this and I was like, oh, I don't think so.
So just want you guys to know, I'm going to the meeting, but not as a board member.
Okay,
I'm going for my club.
okay, as long as you keep that clear when you're there,
Yeah,
that you're not there representing Boardman Park.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm still gonna help Tessa if she needs help with anything.
No problem.
I'm still
This
wanna
will be,
help
a
her.
for me, it's gonna be hopefully a lot of Q and A at this meeting. I have
Yeah.
a lot of questions, I'm gonna listen. Some of that might be answered, but I do have a lot of.
Because, I mean, ultimately, it's awesome they have the money, right? We
Yeah.
want to help them use that and utilize it in a good way, right? We want to definitely take advantage of that and help them the best we can.
And for that other person, I directed them your way as well. That's why they came and talked to you, Mr. Norton. So this,
Yes.
you need to go talk to Scott.
Yeah, okay,
Good for
good.
you, Sean.
Well, and they did. I had a meeting with them, so it was great.
Good, good. All right, anything else on that, Scott?
No,
Good job. So, Shelby,
Are we still on the Boardman or the
yeah.
kid report? I
Yeah.
did a couple questions. The 2 urinals in the men's bathroom, locker room, what's the schedule to get them fixed?
oh, again, well, yeah, the one on the far right in the men's locker room, it's the same one that I pull off the wall and snake out. I've had a plumber pull off the wall and snake out. My personal opinion is that construction jumps
Yeah.
that down there and it every so often we'll get it cleared and it plugs up again. So it needs to be pulled off the wall again. So it's on my list.
Okay, what's the next one over? There's two
That's
of
an
them.
adjustment.
Okay.
And I just learned about that this evening, so I don't. My eyes aren't everywhere all the time, but yeah, that's an adjustment. You know, the flushometers will stick and then more water or less water will come through. You gotta take it off and adjust it. So that will be fixed tomorrow.
So Shelby,
Yes,
can you leave that youth sports update on for old business?
yeah,
Yeah, just move that forward and then just maybe make a note in parentheses that we've tabled the district policies and irrigation GPS to winter. Leave it
Okay.
on there, but like
Mhm.
put that we tabled it.
Yep.
And all right, any other old business? Anybody can think of, no? On to new business, district manager Ted.
that goes in, that coincides with the other. You had
With the,
asked for it to be on there. 2
Oh.
ways.
Okay, well then skip over that.
Yeah.
Discussion on election of officers, that would be me. So I read it, just happened to read it in the Boardman fire minutes from last year, that Don Russell had mentioned that he thought it was a great idea to rotate officers every year instead of carrying over the same people, so that it gives the board members a chance to grow and take on responsibility.
Did
I'm
they
all
do
for
that?
that. huh?
Yeah,
Do they?
well,
Yeah.
I've been the president most of the year because Dieter took half the year off last year and Ken taking half the year off this year. I'm like, why am I the vice president?
Right,
We don't totally roll it over, but we didn't this past year. But I was sure, I don't think Ken or Don wanted to be an officer, so that was kind of the easy out. But I do agree with their philosophy that if you're an officer, you get a little bit more involved, you learn stuff that you may not learn if you're just sitting at the meeting.
yeah, Yeah.
So I think it's working well. I mean,
So-
this year, I nominated Ken, even though he was the president 2 years ago, because his baby is a fire hall and he's got a lot more time. He's got a lot more construction knowledge. So it was logical for him to be that guy.
so Shelby says that is
October.
it really October that we
Mhm.
did that last year?
Yeah.
Okay, so election of officers is in October. I'm not a fan of anybody that hasn't been on here, meaning you two. That's just my personal opinion, becoming, stepping up if you haven't been, well, I guess you too. You haven't been on here very long either, have you?
Almost
I
a
can just
year.
tell you, when we vote, she will be president, okay?
What? You're the vice president, take over,
Yeah.
dude.
Dude, I take over when you're gone. I've done that. Okay, we're okay. I'm not in favor of what you're saying to happen this year.
yeah, it
Let's let
can't.
these guys get a little accustomed to what we're doing first.
I would
Because I know
say,
it took me 2
That's funny,
years.
because that's what I was kind of going for, was that you would take.
Yeah, well, she will be it, okay?
That's why I said, I'm not really a big fan of somebody who has only been on here a couple months taking over, but you're not. you're
No, I'm
thinking that's a
not. No,
great
I
idea.
think-
I didn't just come up with some super.
No,
big
because I
revelation.
look at this, I'm still learning a lot of things with this yet. I wouldn't be even ready, I don't feel.
Okay,
The knowledge you have,
that's how I felt too. Okay.
exactly, I know, but you've been on here for 8 to 10 years, something like that, you
Yeah.
know? And then Karen had you take over and it made sense. To me, I'm the one that's got the knowledge to be in this seat. Okay.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
I could second a motion. Yeah, anyway, let's move on then.
the only thing I
See,
will
didn't know
say
that.
is when we do our policy, we need to move the election to June or July. Because we had that conversation. So you're the president.
Uh-huh.
If you ran for election
Oh,
in May
correct.
and you lost,
Yeah,
we have,
Right.
better at least address that, because it's always a possibility that the president falls out of favor with the public and gets voted out.
correct.
So you either, what we do on the fire board is in July is when the first meeting, when
Yeah.
everybody comes in, when we do the officers.
Right.
And that would be more in
Other
alignment.
than, I'm a.
Wait till October.
You, yeah, you're right. I mean, because what if your VP and your president were actually not reelected?
Yeah.
Right?
Back it up.
Yeah. I hear
We
you.
gotta do bylaws to take care of that, don't you think?
Mhm.
Yeah, we do need bylaws.
That's what I'm talking about when I talk about,
Sorry, I'm not trying to talk out of space here. I was
when we're
just
talking
saying-
about policies, that's what I'm
David's like,
talking about.
yeah.
We don't have any direction outside of past practice, which won't help you.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Well, nobody jump off the cliff. Okay, new business, I guess, Norma, if you could just
Oh, yeah, the landscaping.
let us
So,
know what you're doing.
I was basically just talking about this area and whatever we're not gonna tear down. If we do build if we extend the campground. I'm just thinking about better landscaping or just take the brushes and the weeds down. It just, I mean, just to make it look nicer. Just to have it look nice.
Laughing,
I mean, we're
Have you not-
already,
Have you not picked this up
I
yet?
can't hear
You
you.
can't touch anything here.
I know, that's why I'm asking.
It's
No,
called
Gino's
natural.
gonna be here tomorrow. He's gonna be rolling the disc golf course, getting it ready for the tournament this weekend.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Do we have any core issues with, as far as,
yeah.
Yeah.
we can't really go out and tear up all the sagebrush and plant grass?
No,
Right here, huh? Right here in this area?
this here, over here.
Yeah.
Well, what was done digging, that's probably a big no-no. You wanna make it look as natural as possible.
Oh, okay.
I think what he will do is with the brush, I think a brush hog or whatever, go ahead and mow, the fairway, I guess it is, from to each hole. So he's going to do that tomorrow or the next day, I guess. But, he wants to get it ready for the tournament.
Mhm.
So I have a problem. How come the Corps does not approve this stuff? To let us do that, plant grass there.
All right,
instead?
so I got the story.
Okay,
Because a friend of mine is pretty high up at the Umatilla tribe. All of our headaches have nothing to do with the Umatilla reservation. It all comes from the Yakima
Right.
Nation.
okay.
The Umatilla, they love Boardman. They want us to grow and expand. But because there's a coalition of all the tribes.
Yeah.
Yakima is the one that keeps blocking everything. So the
Tribes
Corps
in
can't
general.
do anything because the Yakima Nation keeps voting it down. It's gonna come to a head real soon because of a situation somewhere else. It's actually on deeded land for the Umatillas.
Oh.
And another tribe wants to do something there, and I think that they're gonna be maybe not so nice. I believe they're gonna politic on our behalf using that situation. That's
Yeah,
all I'll say.
I just look what the Corps done up there at the dam. I mean, they got grass going up, and yes, part of their course, their frisbee golf course is in sagebrush. But where most of the people are, that's all in grass. I'm trying to figure out why they're not letting us rejuvenate this.
How are
But
we
that's
gonna
been,
water
but
it?
that's been that way since I
I
was a
mean, if it
kid.
even,
We water it, we have to dig, and then you have to get permission to dig.
and we can't put turf, fake grass.
Where are
We're
we getting the money
asking.
to put
It doesn't cost a
for
lot.
homeless people?
Maybe
to
we-
fill it?
Windwave has some more work to do for us.
Yeah, we'll put artificial
you
turf
play
over
this
the.
I don't, but I want to go out there, but I'm just like,
Well, it's a natural environment. A lot of these
Okay.
golf courses are that way. And I haven't got any complaints on people, people playing on it before.
yeah.
They actually like it because it's pretty unique.
Hermiston's is natural. right?
Yeah.
Over by the
Yeah.
hospital.
Yeah, it's pretty boring.
Yeah, I
though,
did see that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Yeah, I think Ted would probably have a field day of trying to get approval to make that
well,
pretty.
I have it in there, to get, something approved, but the disc golf for one, it's not been approved yet. So, but there's 2 holes, the last 2 holes we gotta move because they're in an area that will be deeded to the Bureau of Indian Affairs pretty soon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they told us we need to get them out, but, I kind of want to wait to see what the Bureau of Indian. Affairs-
Yeah, we're talking another 20 years. We'll
They'll
be dead
never
by
come
then.
down and look at it.
Yeah,
They won't.
yeah.
But
Unless they move.
You're right about the tribes. The tribes over the last 20 years have been kind of a headache. Umatilla is not. They're really good. But it used to be in the 90s. I'd say we need to do this. I'd get approval within 10 days. Okay. Now it's months.
Can we
If
send them
ever.
flowers and candy?
We can-
Congressman
Be like-
involved.
Yeah, getting a congressman involved helps, but I think they ignore that.
Yeah.
But you gotta understand that the Yakimas and the Umatillas have been fighting and feuding for way before white man was here. Yeah, you gotta go watch the basketball tournament that they have at the band tournament during spring break. First time I went and watched my niece and nephew play in it. I was like, what's going on? I asked my brother-in-law, hey, what, that team's from Yakima. Oh, you guys don't like each other. It's pretty, and not only the kids, the
Like
coaches,
Riverside and
the
Umatilla.
fans. I mean, it was an intense environment, probably one of the most intense environments I've ever been in.
Yeah, it's really tribal.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
they are very,
It is. It's,
Territorial. Huh?
yeah, it is, but like you said, Umatillas, they actually help us out a lot, so.
It's the same way.
We'll
all the way
get to
through.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, for sure.
yeah. See, the Walla Walla district, that's where that little park is below McCleary Dam. That's in the Walla Walla district. They got a whole different environment than we do over here. So they can get approval to do things a lot quicker than we can.
I didn't know that one was in the Walla Walla
It is.
district. Huh. Interesting. I spoke to, do you guys all know Kathy Moore?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, I spoke to her the last week, I think, on the phone, and she said that even though she is not able to probably come down for the meetings, that if we ever need her for consultation, any kind of discussions about government fundraising for, not fundraising, it would be more for, I am losing my word. It's the, you know how she got all the money from like
Consultation.
UAC and.
grant writing.
Right.
Yes. So she said she is happy to be a consult if we ever need her. She probably wouldn't, obviously would never charge us, but she's happy to help out any way she can. So let's keep that in mind if we ever need
Scott?
anything
Scott?
from her. And any kind of help.
So we
She's a
went, when
super
we
smart
built
gal.
that rec center, we went to everybody, and begged them for money. We got quite a bit.
Mhm.
Are we supposed to go back again to the same people?
I don't know. I think she was more like maybe somebody that, when we go to write our policies, that she might be interested in helping with that.
She could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good thing. for her to
So
do.
she's just trying to, let us know that if we need her for anything, that she would be there to help us.
Well, what I would like to going forward is maybe not necessarily hit all the local people up, but there's a lot of grants at the federal level and even the state level
We go out.
that not so much, I'm thinking more for the rec center to close the gap there.
That's a tough one. That's a real tough.
The state one is, but the federal, there's all kinds of federal money for minorities, obesity, poverty, and exercise and fitness. And
Yeah, maybe that's something Kathy Moore could do, is write those federal grants, because they're very difficult to do.
Yeah.
Extremely difficult. State ones are hard enough, but the federal, you have to have a lot of time on your hands to do that.
yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Huge competition right
She'd
now.
be
too.
somebody to call on though. I mean,
Yeah.
especially when we go to write our policies there and do that grant writing. Yeah, that'd be interesting. Just keep her in the back of your mind there. If
I think she charges. I mean, I wouldn't want her to do it for free because it's difficult.
Yeah, but
if she was writing grants, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so she could write what we pay her.
Right,
included in that.
correct.
So.
Have you ever written a federal grant?
No.
Yeah, no.
She could do grant writing. She
No,
could
you'd have
do-
to have
Oh,
an
nice.
actual
Yeah,
grant writer
she
for
was
that.
assistant manager with her. So she knows how to do that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, she'd be a good person, I think, to call on. Super smart lady. Any other new business?
oh, weren't we gonna talk about campground rates and benefits? Or did we
Under
already?
the-
No,
other.
no, we're not even there yet.
Oh,
We're still
Oh,
on
with
number
Ted,
3.
district report.
You gonna read it?
No, you don't have to.
Okay.
Did everybody go over Ted's manager report? Does anybody have any questions?
No, glad the city was able to help you out. You guys
Yeah.
help each other out.
They
Oh.
were a big help.
Did you, so it says here you're. Oh, what day is today?
28.
28.
Yeah,
Yeah, we did.
So what- so I don't know what day we're on. So did you
We did.
get
That's,
anybody?
yeah, let me touch on that. We had 5 people to interview. 4 of them showed up. Well, 2 of them, 3 were by Zoom. One didn't do the Zoom, he just didn't show. And we interviewed 2 today. So there are 2 people that are very well qualified that we're interested in. One especially knows all the pumps and stuff for the pool. Also does a lot of lawn and landscape work. He's from Florida, but he has his mother in Portland. So he's lived in Oregon before, so he does want to move back. Well, he's our number 1. There's another guy that lives here in Boardman. Pretty well qualified, worked on pumps, but not pool stuff. Knew some lawn and landscaping, looked like he did good. He asked about the benefits, he wasn't very impressed. with
Which one
The guy from board,
was not impressed? Okay,
not impressed with our benefits.
okay.
1 week vacation. No, you could see his face. Just like insurance just for him, that was an issue. Because he's married, he's got kids, or he's divorced, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. that's-
Anyway, that's a topic we need to discuss sometime, about benefits. On vacation and what have you.
How's the guy in Florida feel about that?
He never asked,
Okay.
but I think it was listed in the
Mhm.
job announcement.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, the only
It's just
thing he
when
said, I
talking
think,
about the
was there
details.
any moving allowances? This is all he
yeah.
said.
he was-
Oh.
So,
Yeah, and we might be able to work something out with that.
Yeah.
If he really wants to come here, so.
Right. We have a $5,000 housing grant through BCTA.
Oh, there you go.
there you go.
I forgot about that. If you can find the house, right?
There's a house right
Find a
by him,
house.
right by him. There's a house.
Is there?
For now.
Yeah, Woodhill's home.
Yeah, you better hurry. Because I don't last very long.
Well, that's good. At least you had
Yeah.
some interviews.
Yeah, so we want to make an offer to the guy in Portland or in Florida tomorrow. We'll call him,
Good.
make him an offer and see when he can come here if he wants to. So,
It was pretty impressive.
Good.
I felt.
yeah. Yeah, he was trying to do Zoom on a cell phone. He said he's out in the swamp in Florida. He works at a botanical garden right now.
Oh, wow.
I think it's a zoo.
Yeah.
botanical garden,
Oh,
Wanted to, I
that's-
think.
So
Oh.
I'm trying to do it, and he said the spotty cell phone service. So we just called him and talked to him there. So,
Neat.
yeah.
Good. Well, that'd be kind of cool. Let us know how that works out next month.
Yeah.
So that would be for which position?
Park maintenance.
Maintenance.
supervisor.
supervisor.
Maintenance supervisor.
So who had that position?
It's a new one. It's a park and aquatic maintenance.
Do you know what kind of work that? He's
Park and
somewhat
aquatic.
about it.
He wanted somebody that'll do everything.
Yeah,
He agreed to it.
we used to have one back in 2000, or I think 99 to 2002, we had one for about 3 years. And haven't had one since. But it's come to a point where we need one.
Okay, and how's Katie working?
Good. I think so. Shelby's been working with her.
Yeah,
Okay,
she's doing really well.
All right. Well,
Okay, well, I don't have a lot to say because I've talked about most of this already. during my
Oh,
time.
yeah.
So, we are gonna be filling another. That's about over now, that pulling that, job opportunity. like 2
Which
weeks, right?
one?
For the front desk?
Yes.
Okay, so that's, I was just waiting for that to close. We'll be filling another front desk position. She decided to go over to somebody else here in town, so the dental. So So we're gonna be filling that, right? Coming up. The only thing else I want to say is that I kind of wrote towards the end here about shenanigans going on, and people trying to come in for free or card sharing, which has been a problem off and on throughout the entire when we can catch it. And every time that happens, I've called them out and talked to them. If I couldn't get a hold of them, I would just make the card not work. So they'd be forced to come in and talk to me about it. Give them a warning. Say if it happens again, you can't card share, you're gonna lose your membership type of thing. And
It's a
funny
theft-
thing
It's
is,
a theft of services too.
pardon me?
It's a theft of services.
Yeah, and I tell them that, I said,
Okay.
it's theft of services. I'll trespass you and you're gonna lose your membership, so you don't wanna do this, and as. Okay, sidebar here. One young man had this happen and I had a long talk with him, and then we're watching videos and I see this kid come up and he goes, use his card, and somebody comes behind him, didn't have a card, so he goes, can't, there's no words on the video, so he just goes like this, and he kind of just stands there, and the guy goes, you can tell, it's open the door for me, kept shaking his head. So the guy would start to walking off, right towards the parking lot, off the camera screen, and then the kid would and the guy would run back, and he'd stop again. This went on for like 10 minutes, and finally he was able to get in and close the door before the guy grabbed it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's
Wait.
crazy.
Good lesson, good job.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, sorry,
That's
Martha.
creepy though. He
It
shouldn't
is
have to do
creepy,
that.
it is creepy, and, you know, some other gal put a shoe in the door, I mean, you know, save it for her friend coming in, there's a lot of stuff going on. And we try to,
Is there still a sign there that says you are on video?
they all know there's
They do
videos,
it?
they
No?
do.
Okay.
Did you catch me sneaking in 2 weeks ago with Keeper? I got my bag out of home and everything fell out. I didn't know it. I couldn't,
Oh, you lost your card?
no, I got it
Oh.
at home, but it was on the floor where the
Oh.
bag tipped over. I said,
You know,
"I'm sneaking
things
in."
like that happen, and we know.
But I
they
told
have-
Cynthia or whoever asked, I said, need to mark
Right,
right here.
it's just the
because-
ones that are after hours that you know. And the
Yeah.
reason why my card wouldn't work, that's their excuse. And of course, couldn't get a hold of you on the phone, that's their other excuse. That's gonna stop now. But the reason the card doesn't is usually they haven't, it's, you know, their membership ended and they haven't renewed it. So anyway, we're dealing with that. So with that, long story short, 24-hour or any type of recurring membership, which I really want to promote more of, because it makes our life easier, plus we'll probably get more funds that way in the long run. We, unbeknownst to me, we were taking cash cards, which I didn't know we were, and that created a problem because if there's no funds in there, then we're not getting paid, right? So that has happened. So I want to make it a thing where we only can do a recurring payment with a bank account and a routing number, so it directly draws from their bank. And if they don't have sufficient funds, we're gonna get paid and they're gonna get dinged from the bank. And that's the only way I want to be able to do direct withdrawal or direct payment from anybody with a bank card. That makes sense? You follow me?
Is the bank really gonna pay you though? Wouldn't they just deny
They
it?
do.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, just like any store. They draw, you know, you go and pay something and you draw it and you get an instant NFS
Yeah,
notice on your bank and you get charged at $25 or whatever,
yeah.
they get paid.
or it won't work, like if they don't have sufficient funds in their bank account, it just won't work and you don't get paid, so then you know to close their little card for the next ones.
But what happened to
That's
me
what
when I
happened.
was running youth wrestling, people would pay with a check. And I would go to the bank, put it in my account, well, then they'd send me a slip, but there was no money in this account. So not only did I lose the $35 or $50 of fee, then they charged me a late fee on top of it.
Oh,
So I wasn't just out the $20, I got dinged for accepting a bad check. So I decided, I said, no
So you
more
don't want to
checks.
take any cash anymore either?
Not for I'm talking only about
For
recurring
24,
payment only.
yeah.
So we'll take cash, check, credit card for a membership, for a daily drop-in. Talk about the folks who want to sign up for a reoccurring where it automatically just takes it every month and they don't have to worry about their membership ending. You make a reoccurring payment. So the only way we can do that for reoccurring is with some type of a credit card or a debit card anyway. You can't take check or cash for that. The rec pro won't allow you to do that. because it has to automatically take it out of that number each month. We're getting dinged when they're not using a bank account because they may not put money in their cash card, and then we pay for that. So I don't want to do that anymore.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
It does.
That's all I have.
Okay, and you talked about all the rest of this, right?
I'm sorry.
You talked about all the rest of this earlier?
Yeah, I did.
Okay,
Want me to talk about it again?
no, no.
I have a question, about the rest of, Cynthia's mom passed away.
Yes, she did.
Did we send her something, or could we send her something, like flowers or something? I don't know.
Flowers and a card were already sent,
Flowers and a
delivered.
Okay. I was talking for the board.
There's a lot of that going on lately.
Yeah, there was more than one
Too
employee
much.
that was affected.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Let's go to other business and, how you doing?
Good.
Do you want to go ahead and squeeze yourself into our other business category? You're gonna have to say who you are, because we need to put you down.
Oh, I'm Louis Comfort.
I think you just want to watch.
Are you just listening?
I'm just listening.
Okay,
I'm just-
all right,
So watch
perfect.
what you say.
As long as, yeah, we're recorded and we'll register that you're here, so. All right, employee benefits,
Ted touched a little bit on that. The current employee benefits that we have and who we're offering them to, it is becoming an issue with trying to get people hired. And we are starting to lose full-time employees over them. And so we just want you guys to know and be aware that this is an issue we're facing with our employees and with new hires, and that we will need to revisit what we're offering so we can be competitive and attractive to new hires and keep our employees that we have.
if we are going to revisit that, then we need to be given comps on organizations that are our size. I don't want to hear what Lamb Weston's offering.
Right, no,
I want to
No.
hear what other comps are for organizations our size and know what those are.
Yeah, we're working on that. Shelby called. few
yeah, I've
places
called a
already.
bunch of places today
Yeah,
just
And
to
we're-
try and get some info.
yeah.
One thing that, in that whole picture though, is we are a unique economy here.
Correct,
Right.
Because there are so many jobs that people can leave us for,
correct.
that pay a lot more and have other benefits. So comparing ourselves to a business outside of or another park outside of our area may not be a good comparison.
I'm not saying it has to just be a
No.
park. Yeah. I want comps from parks. I want comps from even a business that would be our size, whether it be privately owned, whether it be government owned. I wanna know what other people are doing. Cause we fought over that. So if we're gonna bring it back up and raise the dead, then
So like how many employees we have, or?
no, we really had a hard discussion on employee benefits as far as how much PTO they were getting, how much vacation pay, how much sick time. I'm sorry, PTO and vacation are the same thing. So sick time that they're allotted for the amount of years of employment versus hours of employment versus what we're required to give them for the state guidelines. So we had a pretty divided board on that. And so, but we nailed it down and we just did that last year. So
Oh.
we're gonna revisit it with our two new board members. Then that's why I said, I think we really need to have comps this time to justify what
that's-
we're doing.
That's what I was starting to work on
Yeah.
today.
Okay.
So we had that because it's better for our information too, just
Correct,
so we know what we're up against.
correct.
We're looking at another health insurance plan.
Yep,
Other than what SDA offers. Just to see what might be cheaper, but still comparable coverage.
Okay,
Yeah, because, we only cover the individual, we don't cover the family. A lot of places, especially around government to,
Yes.
cover everybody, the school district, everything, the port, the fire district. But we can't afford what they pay, it's over, it's like $2,000 a month for your family. We had 7, 8 people full-time that are on that, that's
Correct,
something $1,000.
correct.
that we don't have the money for. The park district could do it, or this park could do
Correct,
it,
yeah.
but with that pool, no,
Correct.
that's a issue. So,
Big issue.
yeah,
Well-
so we need to look, it's gonna take some studying, to figure all that out.
You got 6 months.
6 months.
Well, I
That's
think,
when we
I think
start
there's maintenance
discussion on that.
positions
It's gonna
gonna be a
be 6
good
months.
indicator.
It
Yeah.
won't take that long to get those comparables,
Okay.
but we just want you guys to
If
keep
we're
that
gonna
kind of
do
in
it-
your mind.
Yeah, and if
so.
we're gonna do it, we need to schedule it outside of one of our meetings and have a work session
Right,
over it.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, no, I do agree.
That's a big old kind of.
And that's why we didn't necessarily expect an answer tonight. We just wanted
You just wanted to give us.
to give
the
you a forewarning that that is an
forewarning.
issue we
Yeah.
are facing.
What about park rates, Ted?
Yeah, I think I would like to raise our monthly fee. Right now, we're at $500 and we pay for all the utilities. When you look at Driftwood, they're at 700 and I think they have to pay, the camper has to pay for their electric on there. I'd like to raise at least $100 a month, starting December 1st.
So
I don't think we'll
600.
have a problem with anybody on that.
So
And I think-
they're getting all utilities for basically $20 a month, and that's if we raise it to 600.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's pretty
So
decent.
we may fill up the campground this winter. I mean, it's looking that way.
Okay.
So we're looking at like, electric bill of over $10,000, I think, especially if it's really cold out.
Yeah.
One issue we have had with those campers, some of them don't know how to use an RV, and they just run space heaters in their camper,
Oh, geez.
which is not, it's not a good thing. It'll burn up. We've had panels or plug-ins burn up. Okay, so on our rules, I wrote, if you burn up one of our panels, it's gonna cost you $1,000 for us to replace it. And you're going to be without power until it gets replaced, which is can be a while.
Good for you.
Yeah, because I'm not having much patience for some of these guys, they're construction workers that might be their first away job, they get an RV, they go out, they don't know how to use it. So they're ruining our stuff. And we're not gonna put up with anything on this. I'd also like to raise the daily rate for next year. Right now, we're at $45. I'd like to go to 50 or 51.
That's so funny because I think that's what we were kind of getting at last time you changed it, right?
Right. So, and I think we need to.
Wasn't it? Yeah.
We're full all the time. Nobody's crying over the money.
Okay.
And it's very comparable to everybody else.
Okay.
And I think that's something we really need to do.
To 51
50 or 51.
or 55.
Well, that'll be next year.
Yeah.
So I think we should, we need to maximize our income, be comparable to other places as well, because we're nicer than most places are,
Oh, yeah.
and Good Sam people will tell you that. So, and our overflow, what do we charge? $25 a night?
Yep.
We should charge maybe 35 for the overflow.
And that was a recommendation from our Good Sam people. They said everywhere else they go, campground's not as nice. Even the overflow is nicer than some of the places they go, and they're paying $40-50 for overflow.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah,
So right now it's 20.
So
It's
make a
25 right
recommendation
now.
and then we'll make a motion.
that's my recommendation.
But you said 50 or 51, so what do you want?
Let's go 51.
He's
$100.
getting it.
$100 more a month
So-
for the monthlies during the off season. $35 a night for the overflow.
That's
$35 a night.
January 1st.
Yeah,
December,
well, no,
December 1st.
December 1st on the monthlies,
Mhm.
Okay.
January 1st on the dailies. And then January 1st on the overflow, because it's gonna be shut down during the winter time.
So on the dailies.
Dry camp, are you gonna keep it 10 still?
Yeah, 10's good for dry
Okay.
camp.
Dry
And that's just in the parking lot, no utilities, but they can use our restroom down here and take a shower.
$10.
So it's gonna be $10 shower.
Okay.
If you don't charge, you're gonna get a bunch of homeless people.
Oh,
We've
yeah.
Already started getting that.
We don't want
Um,
that.
You know, homeless aren't going to be camping for money. You know, they'll park there for nothing, for as long as they can get away with it. You
So-
know,
The monthly is changing when?
December
soon as we-
1st, December 1st.
December one, okay. And the rest will be January one?
Mhm.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion, we accept his
Recommendation.
recommendation. Good things.
I'll second that.
Okay,
Yeah, so that's $6 more a night. That's going to be
Good job. Great.
$80,000.
We support you,
Mhm.
Yeah,
I think.
so
All
we
in
can
favor?
use it.
aye,
Aye.
All opposed? All right, we passed. Thank you, Ted. That was a good
Yes.
suggestion.
Yeah.
We love money.
Yeah, I do too.
is there anything else, Madam President?
Well, no, I think, so Ted would like us to move into executive session, and before we adjourn from the regular board meeting, I do want to discuss, in a generic form, because I want everybody to be on board, with the concept that if Ted would like to go into executive session to discuss his employment, that you guys are okay with that, given the knowledge that he has any kind of approval, if he wanted to talk about other stuff, he does have proper approval. So Shelby had given us, or given me the Oregon statute that says to review and evaluate the employment-related performance of the CEO, public officer, employee, or staff who does not request an open hearing. And he is not wanting an open hearing, so he wants a closed hearing. And then I suppose if there's anything that would go on in that we would pull it out and he would have to reiterate that in open session. So
That's right.
are you guys okay with that?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
Just kind of depends on what we talk about.
correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And I guess I just wanted to make it clear to Ted that if it's something that we all say, whoa, wait a minute, we don't want this discussed in here, we're gonna have to pull that out, then he understands that that's the opinion of the board, that we will be pulling that back out into open session. So is that okay, everybody?
Yep.
Okay, and I'm going to adjourn the regular board meeting if there's no objections.
Well,
to
don't we
that.
have to come back in, report out from the executive
She
session?
has it written backwards, so I
You're-
think we have to adjourn our regular one.
Yeah,
Yeah, you have to adjourn the
adjourn.
regular
Yeah.
one to go into the
And then
executive.
we can open it back up if we have to afterwards,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Well, you have to.
You gotta still
adjourn,
motion
go
to,
back into the regular and adjourn that one too, right? Is that how you do
I
that?
believe so.
Yes,
Only if you're gonna make decisions on the executive session.
correct.
yes.
Yes,
No.
we would reopen it.
Yeah,
Correct.
there's really no decision. in
Correct. Okay, so we are adjourning this particular section of the regular board meeting. We're going to ask everybody to leave except for Ted.